And I'm Kia Blaine.
And we are the Melanin Mindset.
What's good, everybody, and welcome if it's your first time viewing. Welcome back if you're returning. I'm the Nappy Dreamer.
And I'm Kia Blaine.
And we are the Melanin Mindset. So, friend, you doing all right tonight?
I'm doing great.
Great. So listen, we'd be doing even better if you're viewing us on YouTube and you hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on those notification bells. See what I did there? So that you'll be in the first to know when the Melanin Mindset goes live each and every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you find us out on Facebook, the Melanin Mindset, Instagram and Twitter, or what is it now? X, Melanin Mindset _.
Yeah, X. Yeah.
Out there.
Is that the URL? Is the URL just X? Is it x.com? I don't even know.
I'm going to tell you right now, do not type x.com. Don't do it to yourself.
Make
sure y'all plug in everywhere you can plug in. And we're out on TikTok as well at the Melanin Mindset. So, if you want to plug in with us, we'd love to have you. So, get on the MFN train and let's ride. Friend, you do that thing that you do, girl.
I was trying to put it in the little captions, but I don't know. I keep pasting the wrong thing.
I can't deal, friend.
Yeah. Really? Do y'all hear the cat? Well, shut up. He's so loud. He's so loud. And I bet you he has a sock and he's just yelling for no reason.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
How y'all doing? All right. I got one more to copy and paste.
Okay.
Anyway, so today, as the title reveals, we will be talking about social media and its downfall, basically, and how it is ruining us as a society. Like, what the heck keeps happening here?
As a people.
Yeah, very much so. So you know how we always start around here with a good old definition, and I'm putting my last one in right now. So we start with social media is what we're talking about. So let's break the two words up. So we're going to start with the definition of social. Social is relating to society or its organization. And so another definition, needing companionship and therefore best suited to living in communities. So these are the definitions of social. And if we take the definition of media is basically the main means of mass communication. So this is how we get out a word to the masses in one setting. And then the definition of social media put together is websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So we know we have a number of social media things, platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, X, just like we kind of told you in the beginning. And it's kind of funny that we're doing this episode, but I'm pretty sure everybody's watching us on a form of social media now. So thanks. Shout out to social media for that.
Oh, man, but that's a good part of social media, and we're going to get into that, okay? So, friend, go ahead and let's dive right in.
Okay, so let's talk about the history of social media. And friend, I know you had a couple things to say about this. But originally, social media was intended as a means for people to connect with friends and acquaintances online. So the key thing in that term is like it was to connect with friends and acquaintances. Social media has become so much more than that, and a lot of it is really scary. But it was just a means of connecting with people online. So, like, let's say I had a friend. I think I mentioned this on my last episode. I had a friend in high school that moved to Alaska. So, you know, back then we had calling cards and long distance calling. So social media was great for us to connect without having to pay any extra fees for calling all the way to where she lived at. You know what I mean? It has since evolved into a multifaceted landscape encompassing news dissemination, business promotion, activism, entertainment. Social media's impact on society and culture is profound, shaping the way we communicate, share information, and perceive the world. Right?
Sadly.
Yes. So in the beginning, social media was just another way for us to communicate. The same way calling each other was, the same way paging somebody was. It was supposed to be, this is how I connect with my friend. But we know that it has grown to be much more than that. What do you think, friend? What is your background in social media? Like, what was your first social media?
I feel like my first social media might have been MySpace. I'm teeter tottering between Black Planet and MySpace, but Black Planet
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like a black social media platform, if you will.
Yeah, Black Planet was cool at first, and then it just turned into people hooking up.
Right. It just was. It turned into a whole
It
dating
started
site.
getting real weird.
Like, how did that happen? But yeah,
It
just
started
like,
getting
oh,
very
and I found out
strange.
what the other name was. The one that all the Spanish people was on was Moco Space. I think it's what it was called, Moco Space. But yeah, I think, yeah, that might be right. The chat rooms on AOL. That's where I got my
Yes,
start. The chat
yes.
rooms on AOL, where you end up talking to somebody way across the country. But as far as social media in a nutshell, I think I got it my second year in college,
Mm-hmm.
when I was connecting with someone who I went to high school with. So
Was
social
it
media
was
was
it
more
Facebook?
like, I feel like that was my first like time really diving in on social media, because I
Mm.
had MySpace. I wasn't that good at it. Black
But
Planet, I
MySpace was
wasn't.
basically a music sharing platform.
Yeah, I
That was
wasn't.
their whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know that I was that good at MySpace or even Black Planet, but it was Facebook probably the first like really engaged platform that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And with Facebook, it was kind of like I connected. You had to make me remember. I connected with people I went to school with.
That's
So
what Facebook originally was. Facebook
yeah,
originally was for school connections.
because it was literally a college project. That
Yeah,
was what's his name? The guy who do Facebook. Him. I'm sorry,
Zuckerberg.
y'all. Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
That was his
Hmm.
college project.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was intended to be what it became, but it was definitely a platform to reconnect, not make connections. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Planet was to make connections,
Mm-hmm.
but Facebook was intended to reconnect, not make
And
an
yeah.
initial connection.
And then
Yeah.
MySpace was, it started off with just sharing your music playlist, and then you got to design it and make it look how you want it, and they had themes and stuff like that. But yeah, Facebook was the beginning of talking to strangers.
Nah, girl, AOL
And
definitely was the beginning of talking to
oh,
strangers.
you're right. AOL was, man. ASL.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord,
Age, sex, and location.
that part. I'm done, y'all. Dang.
Ah,
Yeah, but there is some good about social media. We let out with saying, we're gonna talk about the dark side of social media, but like there is some good to social media. Would you not agree?
yeah, sure.
Whatever, friend. This is literally your note, so it is good in social media.
Oh, it is my note. But I had to. But I literally, there is good in social media. But here's my. I don't find the good that's in social media to be social.
Facts,
If that makes sense.
facts. That's facts.
Yeah.
I just recently said, because my birthday was last week, and so I just said my favorite part of social media is when you get birthday wishes from all the people you haven't spoken to in so long.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
is
see,
my
and it's funny that that's your favorite part, and that's it. Probably annoys me.
mm, my favorite part is seeing that
I
people
like it, but it doesn't fulfill the connection I would have rather had talking to you periodically throughout the year.
No, that's facts. But what I'm saying is that for me, it is a bright spot on social media for me,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like people I haven't heard from. Maybe I didn't think to reach out to them too. Maybe I
Yeah.
didn't think to contact or connect, but I realized like everything's okay with them. They're okay enough to send me a message.
Yeah.
They're okay enough to send me
Okay.
a message. Like y'all can, you can message me. I'm all right with
I
that.
do love it for the birthday aspect because I will forget somebody's birthday. So I do love it for that.
I'm terrible. I don't think I tell
I
anybody
usually
hardly happy
remember,
birthday.
I always remember when it's around, but I go to Facebook for confirmation.
No, no, like for real, I am terrible. So I think, let me give a shout out to everybody who wished me happy birthday, because my favorite part of social media is probably the area of social media I do not engage in the most. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I do not. You know, send the happy birthday messages on Facebook. I'm terrible.
I'm so done. You suck.
I don't send the happy birthday messages. I don't. Like
Yeah.
I will text them. I will text you. I will message you.
Oh, I
Like
absolutely text and
yeah,
message.
I put the chocolate baby on my stories yesterday, but she don't even use Facebook. So she didn't even see that.
No, and what's
So
sad is the reason that she don't use Facebook was because someone was abusing their privileges on social media.
woo.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm giving it up for you too.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
All
that's
right.
the part for me. So
So
go
let's
ahead.
go ahead and get into these pros.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the pros, and we just already started with the first one, which is connectivity. Social media allows you to stay connected with friends and family. They might be afar, regardless of geographical boundaries. You can always connect, send a message. We talk a lot on Messenger, and it's just
All
like
day.
it's more reliable than any. Well, I don't know. I think Google Meet is pretty good too, but she team iPhone and I'm team Samsung, so FaceTime ain't it for us. So we use Messenger. So like that's a good thing from social media that we're still able to connect the same way we would if we were close to each other or if we had the same um platform for our phones.
Mm-hmm.
Um some other good things of connectivity is people have connected with people and found the love of their life or found business partners or found just good friends on social media. So that's a good thing. Others have found relatives, found out they was related because they look and they say, oh, you friends with so and so, how you know her? And then find out y'all cousins and stuff
You
like
find
that.
out how
Like
small
those,
the world is on social media.
yeah,
But
those are
no,
the
they
good,
planned
good connections.
they planned our whole last that reunion that I just went to over the summer.
Oh yeah.
That whole thing was orchestrated because of Facebook. They
Yeah.
were able to get everybody pulled into one central location, and then what it allowed us to do is expand our reach. So it's like I'm friends with everybody who's in my immediate family circle, and likewise so are you and so are you. And so what happens is whoever's in that group caught wind of the family reunion that was trying to be put together, and then what
Mhm.
happens? It's a
You
domino
had a nice
effect.
turnout. You had a
We
great
said,
turnout.
yeah, we had an amazing turnout because it trickled down. It literally was a trickle down.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was really, really dope. And I do personally know some people who have fallen in love and found, their forever boo boo on social media.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um Another pro is information sharing. It's a
Hmm.
quick and efficient way to share information, news, and updates. I find information sharing can be a con too because if it's false information, sharing it just makes it grow
Friend,
like a cake.
Lord, that's,
But
ooh,
we'll go ahead and say that's a good thing. It's a quick way to share information to the masses. Okay, so we'll use the family reunion as an example. The
right.
date and time and place. There was a quick way to share it to everybody on social media.
Hmm.
Networking, social media platform facilitates professional networking and job opportunities. LinkedIn, honey, I know so many people who have gotten great jobs and career jobs on LinkedIn, and that's a social media platform. It's a little more professional, but you do the same thing. You post stuff, you share stuff. I don't know if you guys are not utilizing LinkedIn for your professional life, like you definitely should. You definitely should. It's a great platform for that, for networking. What else we got as some pros, Rand?
Oh, on the point of networking, the
Uh,
Melanin mindset relies heavily on social media for networking purposes.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it definitely benefits us in that fashion as well. With letting people know that we're here, you can get a word out, like you said, with the networking, but also promoting. So Facebook, y'all, I don't know if y'all know, but Facebook has ads, and it can target it and identify who is in your space at what time
Mm-hmm.
of day. It is
Yep.
really interesting. Like it can tell you the highest traffic hours in the day on your page, and at which time you can then advertise. So it's like being able to market and push and make people aware of what's going on. In that sense, businesses, you have farther reach, especially if you're
Mm-hmm.
virtual. Y'all, after COVID, everybody's selling something online.
That part.
Everybody is. And I
That
mean,
part.
everyone's being successful. Why? Because they can reach much farther than their neighborhood. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, and I'm a firm believer. I'm not saying that people don't have family that supports, but I'm telling you, majority of sales that I've ever made have gone to complete and total strangers. So it has served well to utilize social media for that purpose as well. And then two, I know social media, like you said, was not initially intended for that, but people have built entire communities on social media, like
What you
with
mean?
complete strangers. Like, remember I told you, and y'all listen, judge if you must, but there's a whole group about Virgos. Now, my friend always told me, like, I am a stereotypical Virgo. I am not really big on like astrology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not that big on that clearly, right? So I don't know what the characteristics are and what all of that extra stuff is. So I actually saw on it suggested to me a group for Virgos, right? So somehow I have managed to make it into 3 or 4 Virgo groups at this point.
Oh my gosh, that was not my intention.
One
Please
of
know that
which,
was not my intention in telling her that she's a true Virgo. The fact that
but
she's in
listen,
3 or 4 groups about a Virgo makes her a Virgo.
listen. All right, so one of the groups is actually a support group for people who dated Virgos.
Mm,
It's
interesting.
hilarious. So yeah, so I'm in those groups now. I have found my people.
I'm
Okay,
so done.
I
Not you
have
found your
found my
people.
people. Like when I say a room full of like-minded individuals, I don't know if it has anything to do with actually being a Virgo or being born in that period of time or whatever, but I mean, it is eerie how
Mm-hmm.
similar they are. so so with that, it's like you make new connections and you build new communities, or you find your communities of individuals who are interested, or even, like even for podcasting, same deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Black Girls Travel started on social media. Oh, bet.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's a travel group that just gets they just put up a trip, and then random people show up and come together and travel together. I do like that type of stuff. I do
Mm,
like when social media actually makes you social.
right. When it creates new opportunities and new
Like
things,
the
like
events, I love looking at the events and seeing what's going on locally. Like those types of things, I think are awesome with social media.
what about
Um,
activism on social media?
hmm?
What about activism?
They say it's a pro. Awareness and activism. Social media can be a powerful tool for raising awareness about social and political issues. I mean, it's true. I don't
If
know.
used properly. If it's not, like, we have a lot for
Like
misinformation.
I
So,
don't know if it's a pro necessarily, because it should be, just to bring awareness to what's going on. But what happens is it just turns into an argument on social media.
that part.
Yeah.
That part. There it is.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
That part. Absolutely.
Hmm.
It's when you see it's like it's hard to decipher. I'm gonna be real with you. It was a lot of stuff at one point as far as activism and current information, or a current news, if you will, that was being flagged and labeled as fake news
Hmm.
on Facebook. Like it used to come up with this little thing, conflicting, or that it was busted, basically, that it wasn't, real news. But it's frustrating or flustering to see certain things, or know that people's knowledge or understanding of a scenario or situation was fueled by
Hmm.
social media. Like you didn't read a book. Well, I don't think a lot of it is in the book, but still, you didn't do any research. Basically, you didn't do your
Yeah.
due diligence. You got your facts off of social media. Like, let's be
Hmm.
for real. So the biggest part of today's episode, truth be told, was a focus on the unsocial aspect of social media. So we're gonna dive into these cons.
Yeah, you missed a pro though. The other pro was marketing and promotion.
I said that one.
And basically, you did? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Guess that's where I checked out.
I'm
My
done.
my ADD must have kicked in.
Oh Lord. Talk about the cons, friend. The cons.
Okay. So one of the biggest cons of social media is privacy concerns. So how many times have you looked up something? No, did you look up something and next thing you're getting ads for whatever you mentioned, not even looked up. Sometimes we just mention something And all of a sudden you're getting, you're just like, oh, that's a nice Benz. And the next thing you know, you're getting ads from Mercedes. Like, I didn't look it up. I didn't do anything. So privacy concerns are like one of the biggest things. And the sad part about it is that when you sign up for these services, the terms and conditions are definitely there. Do you
Hmm.
read them? No. Because if you read them, you would not sign up for none of this stuff. You would not sign up for Facebook, Twitter, and especially not the new one that just came out. Because that one just basically says, I have access to everything in your life.
What did? Which one?
Whatever, I can't even, I don't even know the name of it, but there's a new one on this same with Facebook, Instagram, and there's a new one that's supposed to be similar to TikTok.
Thread. Thread.
Yeah, whatever. But if
Thread.
you sign up for it, you can't unsign up for it without deleting your Instagram and Facebook accounts too. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people started it and didn't know that. And then when they didn't want to be on it and they deleted it, they try to delete it, it'll delete your Instagram and your Facebook as well. Oh yeah, that's a little crappy.
Oh yeah,
When
that'd
you
be
find
tough.
out somebody died on social media.
Yeah, that's tough.
I
But
mean,
sometimes it's
it's easy.
beneficial
Look,
though.
it's easy on the person who gotta let everybody know. Just let everybody know one time, and just let everybody be in their feelings.
But friend, I shared with you that somebody I went to high school with just recently passed away.
Yeah.
And I logged into Facebook. And when I logged into Facebook, it was the first thing on my thread. My feed, sorry. It was the first thing on my feed. I'm not gonna lie, that thing kind of hit me hard, but at the same time, who had my number to call and let me know? That was
Mm-hmm.
literally the only way I could have found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tragic, but yeah. So I guess I want to say it's a pro and a con because, like how she said, when that's the way you find out, sometimes that's hard to grapple with. But then, if that's the only way you could have found out, then you feel better in knowing. You know what I mean?
But that's not the only way you could have found out. Because we were finding out people was dead before social media came out.
But a lot of people also went without knowing too, because you think that little Timmy, you know what I mean? You think little Timmy is all right, and then you go to visit little Timmy and you find out little Timmy passed away a month ago.
No,
Like
you wouldn't. You wouldn't. It wouldn't have been that. No, because if you were connecting and regularly in connection with little Timmy when little Timmy died, whoever was the family member would have thought to call you and tell you because they
that's
know you were
facts.
in connection with them. So that is crap. That is crap.
Oh man, Free, you was just talking about them doggone terms and conditions. Do you
Yeah,
watch
because
Black
hold
Mirror?
on. I wanted to go over some of the terms and conditions
Oh,
that are
I'm
on
sorry.
Facebook.
Oh well, then go ahead.
Yes, that we probably do. You know, they collect data. Facebook collects extensive data, you including your location, your device information. That's how they know what phone you have and how to advertise to you the newest iPhone or the newest Galaxy. I don't get any iPhone ads. You know why? Because I don't have an iPhone. But Facebook and Instagram know to put them Samsung ads on me. You ever noticed that? Have you ever gotten a Samsung ad?
I've seen in the like reels Samsung ads, but
Yeah.
I've never gotten like that targeted ad that comes up on your feed for
Uh-huh.
Samsung. It's always iPhone.
Yeah. Third-party apps. When you use a third-party app or website connected to Facebook, they access your data, potentially sharing personal information without your explicit consent. Ad personalization. The same thing we were just talking about, how what goes on in your life because they're collecting the data. They share data with their partners, and who the heck knows who their partners are?
Right.
Yeah. Face recognition. Facebook employs facial recognition technology to identify you in photos and videos, which can be turned on by default. This has raised concerns about biometric data privacy. They keep your data. That includes the information you shared with others and the messages you've sent. You know, location tracking. Facebook know where you are all the time.
Period.
And that's not creepy to you. Like, that's creepy to me.
Absolutely. When
That's
I'm
very
down
much
in
creepy
South
to me.
Florida, when I come see you in South Florida, the ads on there, they
hmm
do change to
They
match the
change
region
to
that
where
I'm
you
in.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we don't, you just want to get on there and see your baby cousin and see your thing. So we're not reading them terms and conditions when we sign up for stuff like that. We just scrolling and clicking and
Mm-hmm.
going on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Mirror. What was you gonna say about Black Mirror?
Yeah, the terms and conditions. If you watch Black Mirror, friend, you ever watch Black Mirror?
I have watched Black Mirror. I
If
find
anybody out there is viewing Black Mirror, let me know in the chat, okay? But there's an episode called Joan is Awful. It's season 6. I want to say episode 1 or 2. It's called Joan is Awful. Homegirl is literally the focal point of the whole episode, but then she finds out on Netflix, but it's not really Netflix. It's some channel. It's got a different name, but it's Netflix themed. That there's a show called Joan is Awful. Her name happens to be Joan. She's watching this unfold in front of her, and it's literally the actions from her current day. Y'all, I'm sorry, spoiler alert. So she's sitting there and she's watching, and she's like, what the heck? That's what she just experienced in her day. So long story short, fast forward, Homegirl is actually being played by what's her name? If you've seen it, put it in the chat. But she's being played by a very, very, very famous woman, okay? And I can't remember her name right this minute, it's escaping me. But either way, she's like, hold up, how is she doing that? So then she realizes that this thing is literally following her through her day. She gets a lawyer and she's like, there's a show that is based on my life that is on
mm-hmm.
this thing. And she said, well, you gave them permission. And she said, how? She said, because right here where you signed up for this app, it gave them permission to do that
for the terms and conditions.
Bruh, and she said, what are you talking about? They can't record me. And she's like, yeah, they record your phone. They see what you're doing.
They use your
Cameras
your
around
photo.
you, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, the terms and conditions. She's like, nobody reads that. So then when she realizes she has no case and she can't go anywhere, then she starts doing outlandish-ish, right? For example,
Mm-hmm.
she goes into a church in the middle of a wedding and drops a deuce in the aisle. So now the celebrity, this really famous woman who is playing her character, she, Selma Hayek, that's her name. She has a problem because she's like, her face is pooping in a church. Like, what the heck? And then he says, well, you gave them permission because it wasn't really Selma Hayek. It was an AI version of Selma Hayek pooping in the church. And Selma Hayek is talking to her lawyer. And what did her lawyer say? The terms and conditions said that you gave them permission to use your likeness.
Oh my gosh, to use your likeness.
Bruh, it was crazy.
Done.
So
that if you now they do take extreme measures, but they are letting you know with social media. That is all Black Mirror is about. It's really telling you how we've gotten so disconnected and allowed technology and media to take over our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And the suckiest part of all is the fact that at the end of it, you find out it wasn't even her. It wasn't even Selma Hayek. It literally was some other woman whose life started the entire spiral. So the episode of Black Mirror was being watched by the actual person who it was based off of. So her name was Joan, the character in the show.
They really be tearing us up with the Black Mirror.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check out Black Mirror. Check out Black Mirror. So y'all listen, you already know we're brand ambassadors for Dianu, and we share this on a regular basis. So make sure you all plug in with us and support by visiting Dianu.com or clicking the link down below. We'll be right back, y'all. What's good, Mindset family? The Melanin Mindset is thrilled to announce we are the newest brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. Dianu Apparel is a Black-owned apparel company that offers trendy African-inspired prints in each and every garment. They're offering our listeners 15% off their purchases just by using promo code Melanin Mindset. There's something for him, there's something for her, and there's even something for the kids. So head right over to Dianu.com using the description link down below, or just simply enter Melanin Mindset at checkout and save today. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there with us. Listen, if you didn't already know, the Melanin Mindset has a book club out there in social media land. Y'all can catch up with us by purchasing your book, Trust, which is what we're reading this month by Danes L. Reed. You can catch us anytime over in that group channel. So go ahead and purchase your book by scanning the QR code in the top left corner. You can also join the book club by using this QR code right here. All right. Next thing up on there, make sure you all are getting your Melanin Mindset apparel. Yes, we do have apparel out on our website, so make sure that you all visit themelaninmindset.com and purchase your MFing shirt today. Last but not least, Send in your questions if you want to hear our opinion on the things that you are concerned about. Send us an email at themelanatedmindset@gmail.com, or you can submit on themelanatedmindset.com. There is a form at the bottom of the site. All right, friend, let's get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
One
So we're
more.
going through these cons. Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Ready now?
Yep, I'm ready. Go ahead. I thought it was
So
a good
we're
spot.
going through the cons of social media, and we talked about the privacy invasion. Well, it's another con could be cyberbullying. So, and there's so much cyberbullying. Like I think I mentioned this before on another episode. How you look at one thing somebody posted and find it to be your right to check them or tell them about their life or tell them they're ugly or tell them they look stupid or tell them that's not. I'm pretty sure when the person posted what they wanted to post, they were not looking to be criticized or ridiculed or bullied
Or receive
online.
negative feedback at all.
And one thing about it is all of these bullies are not real bullies, because a lot of them, they're using fake profiles. Like, put your real face up there, put your real name up there if you that big and bad, and you're not, because you're online bullying people. So like, yeah,
Mm-mm.
catch me outside. How about
That
that?
part. Listen, there was you heard about Nicki Minaj's husband standing outside the hotel talking
um
about telling Offset he's out here planning trips and stuff. He need to plan his funeral.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
What?
so yeah, girl. And then this I'm sorry. Ooh, I almost dropped the N bomb. This Joker went live on
Wait.
social media.
He went live on social media to tell somebody they need to plan their own funeral?
Yes, he was telling Offset
Was that a threat? Like, what?
that was a threat.
Did you incriminate yourself?
Absolutely. So of course, by the time he got his first couple of sentences out, all of the internet had already forwarded his information to the police. Now, I don't
Oh
know that to be
wow.
factual, but I'm going to just say, let's be for real. Like, there are police officers who literally sit back waiting for somebody to mess up on social media. And
Mm-hmm.
that way they can come get you. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
really their only job. So,
Yeah.
Kenneth Petty, that was stupid. Now you're on house arrest for 120 days behind some foolishness. And Offset wasn't even in the hotel you were standing outside of.
So he's on house arrest for what he said online.
Yes, for his social media threats
You
because
got
he
to
was
feel
threatening somebody's life.
dumb.
Girl, and how about he was already on probation?
Ah, he's a zero.
That part. That part. What did Cardi B say? That your man is a zero and her man is a
She
migo?
said, "Yo, BT is zero. My BT is amigo."
Y'all give it up one time for Cardi B. That line was hard AF, bro. That line was so hard.
And I did see like all of the camps speculating that, oh, who's she talking about? But well, I guess brother was in his feelings, so I guess that's who she was talking about.
Right.
They
And
really are.
so they
They
are.
really
People are
are.
very mean
And
on
they're
social media.
cowards. Everyone who's mean on social media is a freaking coward.
Whole coward. And then the impact on kids, though, like when you talk about cyberbullying, I think I
Yeah.
shared with you a story about a little girl. Her mom posted her saying her grace, and the comment section was so ruthless, saying that the girl was praying for more food. The little girl was chubby, but she was so freaking adorable. But
Mm-hmm.
she was saying her grace, and her mom was like, "I'm so proud of her. She makes sure that I even say my grace before I eat my food." She's like,
Yeah.
"Mommy, spit that out. Say your grace." And she's like, "I'm just so proud of who my daughter's becoming." And
So
people,
she's sharing something good that her daughter is doing.
right?
And rather than just liking it and moving on, you decided to attack a little girl.
Yep. And they saying stuff like that little girl is praying for seconds. She's praying that the food on her plate will multiply. They said some really reckless stuff. And
Because
I
she was
saw,
a chubby little girl.
yep, and I saw
Like,
one
hell gonna
comment,
be crowded. They're gonna have to
that
create
part.
a club hell.
I'm done. There was one in particular where somebody was like, "To think y'all are that nasty that you would pick on this little girl." She said, well, her mom knew when she posted on social media, people were going to say what they wanted to say. So she shouldn't have posted it.
That's
Like,
so stupid. That's so stupid. That's such an ignorant thought process. Like, I can't even fathom.
mm.
Like, if you were to say that to my face, that my hands wouldn't end up on you.
Friend, I have a question for you and for the parents that are viewing the
Mm-hmm.
Melanin Mindset. So, at what age do you think the average child, I'll say it that way, should gain access to social media? With cyberbullying and all the other stuff in mind, like what age?
Right off back 14 came in my head.
14.
I
And how
said,
do you make that determination?
just because by then, you have pretty much instilled as much as you're going to instill into this child, and they've pretty much formed a personality, belief system, values. And so I think at this point they can look at things constructively and make decisions of what is good and what's not good, you know? I
Mm,
think any age before that is too young.
okay, okay.
And that's
So,
just because the 14 is when you go to high school.
right.
So this is also when you're going to be exposed to more socially and everything. So I say 14.
Okay, okay. So before 14, how do you go about protecting your children from social media? Did you post your
What do you
kids?
mean? They don't have
Do
no.
you No, do you post your children on social media?
No, I still don't post. I every now and then. Every now and then, but I'm not. That's no, not at all.
Mm, not a thing. Listen,
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna ask the viewers as well. Go
And
ahead
you
and
know
comment
what?
down
It's not
below.
even. It's not even. I just had to think about that. It's not even like because I think somebody's going to say something like to the tune of what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
like they started talking about her daughter. It's just I don't believe everyone should have access into your children's lives. Like I've always been very heavy on not allowing people to speak over my children. Like you don't get to say, "Oh, he gonna be or she gonna be." No, you don't get to say that. These are my children. You know? So what I believe and want for my children and what for me is what God wants them to be. So no, you don't get to decide.
Mm,
So no, for my kids, there was absolutely zero. Nope, I don't care what the platform was. There was no social media until we got to about. I think that the older ones was definitely 14. The younger ones they might have snuck in there around 12.
mm.
Because I got a lot of kids. I started getting tired.
I'm so
The
done.
younger ones got away with a little more.
Listen, I know that for my goddaughter, she was on whatever social media I was on, but it wasn't until she was a little bit older. Like, even to this day, my goddaughter is my friend. She's 21 now, but she's
Hmm.
still my friend on all her social media. Why?
Yeah,
Because we have kept that transparent connection. It has not been it's a only no, you can't. It's an explanation. And it was at an
yeah,
age, like you said, at an age where the conversation was available. Like
yeah,
you're not having that conversation with a 7-year old. What was it you said
yeah.
earlier? It was something you said earlier. You're like, I can't explain to my child, my little kid.
That's because you can't
Um,
control what's going to pop up on social media. You can't control what's going to pop up on social media. So with my older child, with my 15, 16-year-old, if something comes up and it's a little X-rated or risque, we can open up and have that conversation now. I don't want to explain doggy style to my 4-year-old. What the heck? Like that's not even a conversation that we should have to have.
listen, that part. Like
So
it's got to be an age where they can comprehend the complex things that will come from social media.
yes, and no. So my kids didn't even have cell phones until a certain age, and I remember with the oldest one when she asked for Facebook, I made her write an essay as to why she should have Facebook and what are the pros and cons of her having Facebook and how will she be responsible on such network.
Mm, that's one way to go
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
I wasn't playing. She had to sign a contract, and we took the contract and framed it and had it in a very visual spot in the house. And then I also collected. You don't get to be on them all the time. I collect devices.
Mm,
Like no, you don't have just open access to be online all day every day. No, they had weekends, and even on the weekend, you had to turn it in by 10 o'clock, and you
mm,
didn't get it until probably about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. You were not sitting up on a tablet all day. I wasn't with it at all.
mm. So the next thing we got up is misinformation, and
Hmm.
false information can spread rapidly, leading to misinformation and fake news. And
Yeah.
we all know that fake news is born on social media.
Oh,
Okay, just because of its reach. Just because of its
Mm-hmm.
reach. But we want to start at the top of the list. I gave that statement, but we're going to start at the top of the list. How many of y'all, show of hands, how many of y'all have heard this nonsense going on around Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
Show of
And
hands.
we know it's going to take a minute for the answers to generate because there's a little lag.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
I'm going to let you give your 2 cents, friend, because you know I watched a little bit late.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about what was presented. So Tyler Perry was on a podcast and he made a comment about, do we have a clip of that? We don't have the clip.
I don't have a clip of that.
Okay, so basically he made a comment. And the comment went something like this. He said, nowadays black women are making more money than black men. And a lot of times, you know, these women, they want to date black men, but the pickings of finding somebody who's exactly on their level are slim. I'm summarizing. I'm not saying his exact words. I'm summarizing. And he said, in a nutshell, he said, if you make more money and he don't make enough, and all he could pay is the light bill and take you out every now and then, and she's okay with that, and he's okay with that, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was basically what he said.
But what did the internet say he said?
So the internet, the internet, I've seen so many people stitching, commenting, oh, so we supposed to settle because a man can't da-da-da-da-da. How dare Tyler Perry tell us we should settle for less? I got a
favorite. They said, you know, Tyler Perry is supporting broke black men or women saving black men because he's been Medea all this time. Medea has saved him, so he had to rely on dragging as a black woman in order for him to be successful.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one.
And all I can say is that most of the things I've heard are completely ignorant.
Off target.
Number one, you could not have sat and watched that entire podcast and come to that conclusion.
No
if
way.
You sat there and watched the entire podcast and came to that conclusion, you weren't listening. Because it was a comment that came from another comment that came from another. It was a full conversation. So to say that, and then there was and then they were like, oh, well, you know, that's always been his narrative. If you look at all his movies, you know, the man is always the underdog. So and so from one of the movies was a mover, and so okay, fine. We know that that's what he does. He has a soft spot in his heart for people being happy based on something more than money. I'm so done. Somebody said, well, I don't post my sentence, I'm not a photographer. Exactly. I post pictures if I'm a photographer.
But yeah, they definitely came to a inaccurate conclusion. Like, he literally said, number one, like, the biggest part to me that stood out was the fact that he said, if you are okay with it and he is okay with it. He didn't say that's the way it should be, because that's not what he said. He said, if the woman is okay with it, if the man is okay with it. He didn't say that's the way it had to be or the way it was intended to be. And it's like people are saying it as if that was what he told them. And that's not the case.
It's not.
Girl, it was crazy.
But like, that's why I always say, and you know what's funny? Because even just like this, it seems like a stretch of a comparison, but just like with Bible scriptures, I hate when people just take a little part and try to use it to get a point across. Like, no, did you read the whole story? Because that's not what they're talking about right there.
I'm glad you said that, because you know the scripture, children, obey your parents in the Lord, that your years may be long. Now, y'all, that's the abridged version, okay? But what the parents never, ever, 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 ever seem to recognize or acknowledge is a scripture that comes right after that says, provoke not your children to wrath.
Yes.
But no. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for his right. And your years will be like, no. But you do not provoke your child to wrath either.
Yes.
You know? What does it say here? Let's see.
He advertised the average Joe, the average man. And what's wrong with that? If a man is working hard and not making all the money, but he has a good heart and a said, I don't know. Okay. I'm pretty sure he'll put the rest. I don't know what we're supposed to say there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if somebody's situation might like you say that sometimes you like I'm not about to yuck nobody's yum.
That part. I'm not gonna yuck
Yeah,
nobody's
like
yum.
if
Do
they're
you?
happy and that's what they're doing, like why does it bother you to a point that you make a TikTok or
Right.
a Stitch? And I mean, really, what it all boils down to is you looking for likes, you looking for
You're
popularity,
looking for the attention.
you looking for attention.
That's a detriment of social media too. But
Yeah.
he even used the example of Oprah and Stedman. Like, who do you
Mm-hmm.
expect Oprah to date? And I was talking to my husband. I was like, who is Oprah supposed to date? A married man? Because if she dates somebody that's in her tax bracket, is she dating a white man or a married man?
That part.
You get what I'm saying?
And shoot,
So,
even a married man and right about now ain't in her tax. Ain't no who in her
bruh,
tax bracket.
Stedman
Mm-hmm.
is worth, I think he came up as 100 million. I think that's not even 10% of Oprah's net worth, and them jokers been together since '86. Y'all,
Yeah.
I'm just being for real, okay?
Yeah.
Like, really think about it. If y'all are really tripping that bad, who is poor Oprah supposed to be with? She's supposed to
Yeah.
be by
So
herself?
you know and is that considered settling? No. She's with somebody who
No.
sincerely cares about her, who has the best of intentions for her well-being and her safety. Period.
No, but friend,
That's all you want.
but you got to keep in mind, Stedman is worth 100 million. That's still a lot of money. He can get her things. I'm done, done, done. Oh my gosh, done. But it's just like, be for
Mhm.
real. Like, they're looking at Oprah and Stedman's okay because Stedman still has 100 million. It's not
Mhm.
2.8 billion, which is Oprah's net worth, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
not 2.8 billion. However, he can still afford to get her some nice things because he's worth 100 million. But no, by y'all's logic on social media, Stedman is not good enough for Oprah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. It bothers people that much because they can't find love. Come on here. Can I give it up for him
Mhm.
one time? Like,
It
hold on.
bothers people too much because
I
they
gotta give it
don't
up.
because they can't find love in their life. And that's basically what it is. We're sitting here. Tyler Perry is seeing it. He sees the struggles. He sees that you're frustrated that you can't find love. He's just trying to show you like there are other options. Like it doesn't have to be, you know, like he might not check off every single box on your list, but come on, even a 80% is a passing grade.
That part.
Even a
And then
90% to get you a scholarship.
I'm done. The last piece on the whole Tyler Perry before we move on to Miss Tiana Taylor, honey. The last little piece there also I saw on social media where people were making comments saying he told her that she was vibrating below her man. And now he's saying that you're supposed to take care of the man. No, 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 no. He
Mm.
told her that her man's ambition was superseding hers.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have your ambition come up a little bit.
Yes.
Likewise, if I have high ambition and a higher paycheck, and my husband's paycheck might not be as much, but he's got as much ambition, he's at the same level as me. Like, we have the
Yeah.
same level of ambition. Like,
Yeah.
he's saying that your drive needs to match. It's not
Yeah.
saying that your money has to be the same, but
Mm-hmm.
you both have to have a sincere desire for that success. You can't be with somebody who's okay with settling if you're trying to
And
succeed.
if you're trying to, yeah.
And that is what he was saying. Not that she needed to do better or make more because she was with. No, he was saying that you are not pushing yourself. He is pushing himself. And
Mm-hmm.
likewise, if your man ain't pushing himself and you pushing yourself, you can't drag him. He's got to be willing to push too. It's not always
Yeah.
about money. Friend, that's a whole episode. It's just not. It's not always about
Yeah.
money.
Mm-mm.
So you got Tiana Taylor. Go ahead, friend.
I mean, it just kind of goes with the false information. These you can kind of run through real quick. They were talking about Tiana Taylor's man got caught cheating and da 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 da. And then Tiana Taylor cleared the air and was just like, that's just not true. But the false information had spread so fast, it spread so rapidly and so far that even another celebrity had commented on it, and
Kelly Price.
she just basically was like none of it is true. Like none of it, we yes, we're separate. No, it didn't have nothing to do with infidelity. Da 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 da. But it's like just the false rumor spreading. How many times Jaleel White done died?
I'm
They
done.
done killed poor Urkel so many times online.
What you mean? Carl Winslow been dead if you have social media.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely performing and not performing. He done showed up on Mike and Molly more times. He showed up in Mike and Molly so
Yeah.
many times. But yeah.
The same thing whatever we was just talking about, like with scripture is being misquoted and misread and telling people things within certain religions and telling people that this is this way and it's just not true.
Yeah. Oh, remedies.
Oh yeah. To lose weight, eat a bag of toenails and da 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 da. Like, come on, y'all be coming out with the weirdest stuff. Like, y'all need to stop.
Oh my gosh.
Several things. You're gonna have people out here killing themselves trying to do stuff. Did you hear about the 14-year-old boy who died with the potato chip?
Girl, no, we didn't talk about that one chip challenge. That poor baby. And the thing is, all right, y'all, I'm guilty. I did. I went on TikTok and I looked up the 2023 one chip challenge to see people's reactions. Y'all, I'm shame on me. But I did. After I found out this boy died. Do you know people are literally coming within inches of death? This is bad. Like the one chip challenge I watched.
Because it's something that's on social media. And now you're aiding and abetting because you watching and giving people looks. And that's why. Because they know they want views. They want views so bad on social media. They're doing the most idiotic things just so they can get that traffic.
Girl, listen. I watched this one.
That's why I am quick to, if you look stupid, I'm not watching.
I watched this white man, and I'm sorry, this non-melanated man. I watched this man come this close to knocking on heaven's gates, or should I say hell's doors? I don't know. But he came this close. Homie's entire face was red. He was shaking, slobbering, and his eyes were running. His nose was running. He could barely breathe. The man was curled up in the fetal position.
And I bet you he watched other people almost die too, and you still decided to.
You know why? Because he saw how many views they had. But yeah, it was crazy. But also, a big thing for this is the impact that it has on these children. It's giving them an outlet. And friend, we got a quick video that we can show real quick of a situation where...
Yeah, this was scary.
Basically, I'll give you a quick backstory. We did not own this video. We did not originate this content. However, it definitely ties into tonight's episode where a young lady... just watch the video. Here we go.
Talk to Sasha about not talking to people online and stuff like that?
We talk about it all the time.
So we made a fake profile as a 15-year-old boy. As you know, his name is Jackson. Let's text her the address and see if she'll come and meet this guy,
She will not meet him.
Right now, she actually just texted him. Let's see what. Be there in 10 minutes, walking over now. Let's get set up. She said I'm 1 minute away right now. All right, so go down there right now.
Come in. Follow me.
A lot worse. So picture that your child ends up in this situation. I do see the comments in the chat. We're going to pull them over in just a moment. But can you imagine, friend, if you set up one of your kids and one of your kids actually showed up in that space?
So full disclosure, they wouldn't have been able to show the rest of my episode.
Mm.
Yeah, it would have went real bad.
Mm.
Because as hard as a parent, I've been very descriptive and shown examples and taught you not to do those things. And for you to take your little narrow tail and do exactly what I've been teaching you is unsafe to do. The rage.
Yeah, I didn't put the whole clip, but Mama definitely jacked her up.
The rage. She definitely did. She was like, "Are you crazy?" Yeah. That's scary though. I watched one where they did the little kids and told he had a puppy and was like, "Come on, let's go feed the puppy." And the little kids just bouncing, going to go feed the puppy. It's very scary.
Yeah. We got a few things here. It says people say anything without fact checking, and that's a whole fact. That is a fact. People will definitely eat from anybody's plate if they're given the right bit of information. We got here, the most misleading info is relationship advice. Not sure if y'all touched on it. I checked out for it. I read the whole comment. But yeah, no, we didn't touch on that. But that's facts. I was saying we
Yeah.
need to have an episode where we talk about that. Match my work, not my
Well,
network.
I don't know I don't know what's
Yeah,
happening. I
it's a
don't know what's
lot.
happening.
It's a lot.
The things I hear people saying about oh, you got to do this for your man and you got to do this for your wife. This just makes no sense.
Listen, he said they on social media eating mace. Yeah, they're doing all
Yeah.
kinds of foolish things on social media just for clout. But it's
Mhm.
like with things like that, plus with the situation, it's not happening anymore as far as I know. But I would say about 2, 3 years ago, there was this thing called Momo that used to pop up on the kids' YouTube. It hit really
Mhm.
close to home for me because a child very close to me, was impacted by this whole Momo situation. But it's like, why is it so not important for a parent to know exactly what their child is taking in at any given time?
And you should. And you should.
It's like you gave the example where
Yeah.
it's like, cut that off, put your headphones on. No, you need to be listening. You gotta hear what's
Mhm.
happening. You gotta hear what's going on. So, friend, as we turn our
Yeah.
final corner, a big old thing with social media is absolutely the comparison culture, where we're dealing with, you're looking at somebody's story and thinking that is
Mhm.
what it is. Like I told you, I must be giving rich chick vibes on my social media for some reason or other, because I don't quite get that. But clearly, I'm giving rich chick vibes. But it's like people will see an image of you on social media and formulate an entire story around it,
Yeah.
and make you a
Absolutely.
particular person. And it's like you're looking like you gain low self-esteem from simply seeing the highlights that somebody might post on social media.
Mhm. The filtered
That
highlights.
part.
Yeah, like the whole and a lot of young kids are suffering from what's called body dysmorphic dysphoria, where they see something that they don't like about themselves to the point that it consumes their mental space.
Yeah.
Like, say, they got one dimple instead of two, and then they just are steady trying to make that other dimple match. Like, the body dysmorphia is for real. Like, you see somebody online and they have a certain shape or they're a certain color. That's a big thing in our community, is being of this shade that you want to be. And just the lip fillers and getting surgery so that you can look like something. And I don't even know, I don't even get that part. I can't even speak on that because I really don't understand why you want to look like a cartoon. So I don't know. And even like with the AI now, like taking your face and making you look a certain way, like, are we going to be attracted to cartoons soon? Because it doesn't look
Like
real.
every chick walking
It
around looking
doesn't
like
look
a
real.
daggone
It
brat
doesn't
song.
look like when I see you and we're face to face. What I see on social media does not look the same.
Facts.
I have met so many influencers that I've seen on social media, and when I see them in person, I'm like,
I
bruh,
missed it.
how you be editing your photos? Because I want to know. Because, bad. What? Like, you look nothing like what you look like on social media.
Right.
And the sad part is, if you have kids who are 8, 9, and 10, they don't understand that. They don't understand that this person used a filter to look like that. They don't understand that, they use some type of editing to make these things happen. And these kids are trying to look like and trying to mimic things. They have a distorted view of what's good and what's not.
Right. It's
Yeah.
definitely giving way too much of, I want what you've got. It's almost like the playground all over again.
Mhm.
Like the little kid, the ice cream truck comes and the little kid got, the Sonic head ice cream, but my mom only let me get a
Yeah.
bomb pop. And so I'm going to smack the
Yeah.
Sonic kid ice cream out their hand. Why? Because I'm
Yeah.
losing it.
Yeah.
I'm internally
Yeah.
having a complete and total meltdown. And now,
But see, that's different because now I could teach you how to socialize with each other. Like, you don't hate on what somebody else has. But with this social media thing, I don't have no control. I can't see what you're thinking because I'm allowing my child to just sit here with a phone or a device. Like, I'd rather go back to the playground because I could beat your tail for knocking his ice cream
right,
over and tell you that that's not right,
right,
and explain to you why that's not right and how to communicate what you want. And how I can tell you, well, next time the way you can earn it is to do XYZ. But no, with social media, it's so
it puts them in a
invasive.
personal
And
space that you don't have access to. You
yes,
don't
yes,
get
I
to
was gonna
be
say
right
it's so
there.
invasive, and we don't have access to what is actually invading them until it's almost too late.
Right. So let's go ahead and hit these
Yeah.
last couple of things. Time wasting, girl.
Girl. So bad. So bad. So bad. I have sat here and then looked up and be like, well, dog, it's 4 o'clock. How long I've been sitting here? It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. And mine is bad because you know what I be looking at? I just be watching people do
I'm
hair.
done. I do the
And I can
crafts
watch it
and the
for
creativity
hours.
stuff. I will find
And
myself.
oh yeah, and the crafts and all, I can just watch it for hours. I watch people do their houses over, and I just be stuck.
And friend,
Like,
you
get up and do
know,
something with your hair. Get up and do the house. Why is you sit here watching 50 million things with the same daggone video? What's wrong with me?
because you know I don't feel like I'm very like creative in that sense. Like I'm like I can't decorate for nothing, and now I got all this space and I'm trying to do stuff with it, and so it's like
Yeah,
now I'm
you
always
just
girl,
stuck.
I'm stuck all the time. Shoot, I'm creating the crap that people get stuck watching right this minute. It's like
Yeah,
I'm part of the
you
problem,
creating more stuff for them to be addicted to.
girl. So listen,
And that's where we should end at.
Yeah.
On the addiction. Because Tyler Perry did say that at the end of that podcast. Ain't nobody say nothing about that. He said one of the biggest addictions that are destroying families, destroying our self-esteem, destroying our minds is social media, and nobody's talking about it. Like, you are literally addicted. Like, people lose their crap when they leave their phone. I have seen people when I was teaching, I would have students that were late to class because they was almost there and they had to go back home to get their phone. And which it always would baffle me because you ain't allowed to have your phone in class anyway. And we was only in class for 4 hours. You couldn't go without your phone for 4 hours, and you live down the street. You couldn't go without your phone for 4 hours. You didn't even have to go without it for 4 hours because on your lunch break, you could have went home and got
that
it.
part.
You only had to go without your phone for 2 hours, and they would risk it for the biscuit going back home to get their phone. Like, it is an addiction. Like, people cannot live without it, and it is. You're neglecting your friends, you're neglecting your family. Like, instead of sometimes, if I just remember being bored, going to my friend's house and knocking on the door.
Yep. Just being at my friend's house and being bored together. We're gonna be bored in the same place, or we're gonna play cards. We're gonna play Uno. You're gonna do something. Let's go down to the park.
Or I would call a friend and just be like, "What you doing? What's up? How things going?" Because, and then that would create those real relationships, those real friendships, those real connections, like checking on your family and sharing information. But this is us.
And friend, that takes us right into our tip of the week for this week, and we're gonna wrap it on out, honey. So this week's tip is to put some limitations on everything that gives access to you. Okay, that includes conversation and social media alike. Make things intimate. I'm not saying keep secrets, y'all. Intimate. That means just keeping it close to the chest. Being an open book does not mean you have to be a complete fool. So go out and make a social connection. That's this week's challenge. We want you to go make a real social connection. Visit someone, call someone, reconnect with a family member that's not on social media and has been anxiously just waiting to hear from you. So that is the challenge for the Melanin Mindset this week. You're going to take that opportunity and do that. Y'all, we're going to check in with you next week and see live right here on the Melanin Mindset at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Friend, anything else?
Thanks for tuning in, Mindset family. Until next time, embrace the melanin, embrace success, and be blessed.
All right, y'all, have a good one.